EST. It's time for Mike and me. Mike, how you doing? There's a lot to cover in the markets, but there's something I want to address first, and I know you'll have an opinion on this. How about those Knicks?
Coach, do you know I was a ball boy for the Knicks?
No.
I was a ball. Let me. Good. I don't know. Listen, I was a ball boy for the Knicks. My father was a jock, as you know, and Rick
Right.
Pitino back in 1986
I
was the
remember.
coach of the Knicks.
Yeah.
And my dad says, can you? It was very close to them. Rode from all the time. Both Italians. Rick Pitino, by the
Yeah.
way, is from Oyster Bay, Long Island. Long Island guy.
He's
So he
still
says,
coaching.
"What's that?"
He's still coaching.
He's at St. John's.
Yeah.
And he's doing well. By the way,
Yeah.
let me get to the point. And he says, my son's a diehard Knicks fan. This is when the Knicks and the Mets were both good in the late
Yeah.
'80s. So I wound up being a ball boy for the Knicks after school. Make a long story short, I took the train from Long Island into Madison Square Garden. I was 16 years old, and I have all the memorabilia. I have all the Ewing sneakers, and the best part of it, I was 16. As you know, the NBA season it goes throughout
Right.
Christmas and through all the NBA games.
Right.
And
Right.
I was like 16. I got like 9,000 cash in 1986 as a tip for
Nice.
and you know what the nicest one of them all was?
Who?
Charles Oakley, my favorite player.
Wow.
And
He
Ewing
gave
was
you.
pissed. I asked for Charles Oakley sneakers right in front of Ewing, and Ewing held a grudge on me. I said he's my favorite player.
It's
That's
a
a true
great
story,
story.
but it was a good story. But my job
Yeah.
was I was the mock guy.
You still love him?
Yeah,
Yeah, once a fan, always a
yeah,
fan.
I
When
still love him. Of course I do. I
I,
don't like
I,
James Dolan. I would short you. I'd rather have dinner with Madoff than James Dolan, to be honest with you. But the colors don't change.
yeah, he's really great. He's what a indomitable will
Yeah,
they say he plays with. All right, so it's my view that between the Fed last week and the employment number, that a couple things have changed. And one of them is the dollar. I believe, I have to go with what happened here was real. I missed it because, I'm Forex stop hunter. And it went right to the number without electing the stops over this high. I go, wow, they're really going to let these shorts stay in the trade. And, once in a while, it happens. So I have to go with the action. I was flat for the NFP. I wasn't long the dollar, short, just flat. And now I want to take advantage of it by selling dollar strength. This could be an important turn. I know where I'm wrong now. I'll put my stops above where everyone else's are.
looks like a scar, coach.
Yeah. So anyway, I think this is could be a big deal for the onset of a bear market in the dollar, which really lifts all boats. A weak dollar is bullish for almost everything, especially commodities. But it's good for stocks too. In fact, Mike, emerging markets have been outperforming our market. You look at so they kind of sniffed. They don't
EM.
do well with a strong dollar. So they kind of sniffed this turn in the dollar, and EEM, has been blasting off. So, that's maybe where money goes where it's treated best, and maybe emerging markets is a good place to park some money.
That's fine. We
Uh,
got no ego. We don't care what it does. As long as it's moving and it's working, we're in. I
yeah.
appreciate the macro background, and everybody knows what the Nikkei. I mean, you don't have to. You could.
All right. Well, here's something micros. I also believe that yields peaked. Okay, so one way you take advantage of it is look to be short the dollar, and the other way to take advantage of it is to look to be long um, DLT.
Very
So I
cool.
was talking down here. I said it's got to close over this wedge line, get back in there, and I was open to maybe one more low for a three, but it didn't happen on the NFP. We closed a little bit above it, the NFP. That was it. I think you have to be long TLT on any break, say pulled back to 89 or so, and it may not pull back. You know how many times I look for pullbacks and they just keep running. But this is important because the potential of being long bonds here is not just a trade. I'm expecting something like this, and we caught TLT at the last low last October.
You did.
So
When I
I
bought
got
that FX, what did I buy that FX
yeah,
something? Yeah.
yeah. I didn't ride it all the way. I
EMF.
thought it was going to start pulling back here, but if this gets back through, 92, you could have something like this from here. It could give you. We should take out this high by at least 4 or 5 handles. So that's a trade. Okay. You may feel a little late here, but I know your style. You never feel late. If it's right to be long, you just get long,
That's fair.
and then you'll sit through a drawdown if you have to, if it happens. But if you're going to be afraid to sit through a drawdown, you shouldn't have a position on, right? Why
Well,
be in the market?
like we're not throw, well, the thing why we can sit is, we have a system meaning options, volume,
Yeah.
not going against the trend. I never hope. That's not in my vocabulary. And by the way, I'm not saying I was born with it. All these things dissipate with experience and over time. And you have it,
Well, I
you know
want to
what?
give you
The good
credit.
thing is,
Go
at
ahead.
this level, I think you're seeing it too a little bit, Coach. The longer things play, the longer time goes, the longer things even out or make sense. But my gut feeling is doing a lot better than a lot of things making sense right now. I'm not going to lie. Maybe that comes with almost 29 years behind the screen, but you want to
Well, I
kind of
mean,
get there. You know what I mean,
I knew we were close when we made this low because of divergence, but then you were reporting
The TLT
very
puts.
important, very important how they were selling the crap out of the puts
That's correct.
while TLT was trading lower.
And you
Okay,
kept
we're
asking me, "Are you
yeah,
sure? Are you
yeah, I
sure?"
could, yeah.
No, I'm serious. And I said,
They
"Listen, I don't."
so those puts they sold, they probably been cut in half. Nice house trade, right? Because the writers are the house, and
That's very. You're right, too. That's second level thinking.
yeah,
They took it.
they're the house. The buyers are the shortstops coming in there trying to turn a little into a lot, and they just capture that premium.
Well, and what really told us there was, and that was a TLT anomaly. I follow a lot of equities, a couple of options. I don't really trade other forex or anything, but when I say here, do you hear me on TLT? I don't say that often. I didn't really capitalize on the trade. I coach, you know, bid. I could other things. It kept in the drawdown, if you will. We all have them in a little bit longer because of it. But that
Yeah,
was an anomaly. That's like saying, I don't know, like they're trying to corner the market in orange juice. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Something
So
was up. So
yeah,
I didn't make it up. It was just that, it could have been anything. It was the TLT.
yeah. Some similar setup to what we had here. We had 2 drives, and then we gapped, never looked back, and we gapped here on the NFP. Anyway, I think there's a big move down in rates coming for a few months. And you would think that the market would like that, right?
Yeah, I would.
So, okay, and the market has. Now, yesterday, when we're at the lows after the anatomy of the correction, I thought that we'd get a rally to 51 and a half, and that was back here. So I tried it. I got stopped out. I said maybe we're going to 52.20. I still believe that before we make a new high, uh, that there'll be one more shoe to drop to take out these lows. I don't know. I can't come up with a reason for it to happen if yields are dropping. Can you come up with any reason that could throw the market for another loop? Could it be
Let me
Israel
just.
or
No, thanks, Coach. Good segue, and that's being
yeah,
it. I point out the yesterday's video that I put out beginning of the week where I give more of a macro situation. I'm always giving trades, so
yeah,
I said the VIX is down and credit is cooperating, is evidence in the TLT. A lot of the sharp guys took off a lot of their hedges, as you can see in the VIX.
yeah,
Retail has sold a lot because they got spooked a little of the moves in some technology stocks or even some cyclicals, and even oils that were favored now are completely going the other way. So even though the market bounced, This one of our headlines is earnings, how and they're acting. They're punishing a lot of stocks that are not acting well, and they're rewarding it. So you have to take note. But right here, after we had the Treasury auction and Powell speak, I don't see there's any problem. What problems lie ahead?
Right.
I
I
mean,
don't either.
hold on. I shouldn't say what catalysts, whether positive or negative. And the less problems that you could see, beware, is that there's more ahead. There's a little bit more underneath things. That's all.
Okay, because I mean, Google's kept going.
Making
What's
calls,
inter what's
forward-looking
interesting
charts.
what's interesting is stocks that had bad earnings or something that gapped. They've all rallied back to the gap. Meta was one. What was the other one? There was another one that gapped down and filled it too. Uh, I,
Michael, but you know what? Hopefully, I'll punch up a couple today. Let's see what they do because they're big. They're even more dramatic. Look at Disney today. Stairs up,
okay.
elevator down.
All right. Anyway, I want to get your feel and see what's happening with sweeps. And what grade would you give this earnings season? Like a C or
Yeah,
a B?
even lower, even lower. There's a lot of backing and filling to do, and there's some stocks that are finished.
Okay. Therefore, maybe little money wants to flow out of equities, and instead of rotating into a different sector, might rotate into bonds.
Well, hold on, Coach. You got the sector uh right there on your screen, the stock right there, CCJ. For ever
Oh,
since last Friday, still bombing. The only negative is that Goldman upgraded them.
okay.
CCJ
Yeah,
still
uranium.
bombing them. Still.
Yeah, testing the highs.
So there's
Okay.
some place to go, you know?
All right. Yeah. I see some divergences developing up here, but yeah, I mean,
That's
can't
fair.
argue with it. It was a great trade at the minimum,
Hood,
and
I'm
who
long.
knows?
Go punch
Yeah.
up your hood down here. I'm long hood. Last one on your
Oh
screen.
yeah, that's right. You brought this up the other
If
day,
I was
didn't you?
short this, I'd be nervous. Oh, it's
Or
taking
someone?
calls, coach.
Okay. All
It
right.
looks binary. That's the only thing.
And
If I'm
and
wrong, I'm not gonna get if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be pinned.
okay, so I heard that they're changing their model instead of just going after people day trading crypto.
And it
And
absorbed the
and
bad news. And that's where it is now of taking out
okay,
basically. That's what I'm saying. And it's taking calls.
they
And
want
these,
IRAs, and they want IRAs, and they want long-term business, not just trading. They're
well,
going to become an asset
well,
collector.
that's what TradeView markets. They're going to be in
Yeah.
competition with TradeView market because we're setting it up
Oh
as
well.
we speak.
All right. Let's get short. Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Long trade view. Short hood.
Believe me, I'm long
Um.
enough TradeView where hood can go to one and I'll be okay.
Now, Mike, I'm still trying to be patient on adding to miners.
I
Gold
lost the
was
feet.
down a little. Is there rumors of a peace deal? Because a little while ago, gold came off. It was only down a little. It came off. Wondering. Let's see, what's it doing now? Yeah, it's down $9, and silver bounced to unchanged. I still think there's one more flush, and maybe to 22 and a half. And I still think that we're going to have a chance to buy GDX here, and that's a 50% level. So we'll see. Um, it maybe they go there without the metals really getting hit, and maybe just if there is one more round of risk off, they take the miners down with them.
I could
That's a
see. Man,
possibility.
that's a tough position to hold. It looks more. I mean, it's not from 35 to 32 is not that big, but
Yeah,
those moves
30
are.
and a half, I'm figuring. 30 and a half to 29 and a half.
Coach, what's your natural gas opinion? You want to talk held
It's
in a
bottom.
drawdown?
It's bottoming. I
Yeah.
know, and you've been tough with hanging in there. And it's like what I said on yesterday's video was that look at it, looks good.
It actually
Buy
does.
pullbacks, it looks good. It's turned up. You're wrong under
And
two
no one's
bucks now.
it's made the move up and no one's still even talking about
Yeah.
it.
And you know what? I brought this up. I said that gold and silver and copper, and oil. They have lots of sponsorship. A lot of people, because of what's happening in the Middle East and
There. Oh, yes.
worried about inflation, plenty of people aware of it. I said, I'm with the dollar peaking, it's going to lift all commodity boats. And I'd be looking for out of favor commodities. And you have to think that this, after a year or two of what it's done, is out of favor.
You know what the other second one I like? Lithium.
Okay.
Not because I take it.
No, I think all that stuff. And you know what else has come to life? And I've been
Oh, yes,
talking
of
about,
course, wheat. You have
yeah, wheat, the
been mentioned, a
grains,
lot of your
man.
posts lately have been a wheat, at least on social media. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So I like all the grains,
fair.
especially wheat. Here's a picture on the weekly. We're starting to break out here. Beans look the next best, maybe even better because they're not coming off a low. The lows were down here. And even corn is I don't like the RSI reading here, but yeah, I call it the breakfast cereal bowl.
Well, you
You've
know
heard,
what? They killed the dessert bowl, the dessert
yeah,
option because the
cocoa,
cocoa
co
got split in half.
yeah, cocoa puffs. Well, you know what? I would take a cocoa ride and I would know when to get out. I'd probably be out early.
Yeah,
But
with
you
that
know,
type of bowl.
I
And you'd
mean,
also be in it early.
I do that all the time too.
Me too.
But you know, these commodities, with inflation being pretty stiff, have been turned to dust since the invasion of Russia into Ukraine. And that marked the high in wheat. And that was $13 wheat. Okay, so
That was exciting. I remember that.
yeah, so we went from 13 to 5. So say it's not going to be a new bull market, but just a correction, a vicious bear market rally, eight would could take it to $9, almost 100%. So I like the grains.
Look at the backs. Where
Call
that
me
closing.
call me wolf. Say I'm the boy that cried wolf. So I'm
No,
gonna
you've
turn
been
the screen
posting.
up.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, you've been posting on
Yeah,
Lead Alive. I've been following you
yeah, yeah. I
because of that.
like it. So Techrium has an ETF with all the grains. You can buy
Okay.
grains as ETFs. So
Or
I
you can
have some.
buy DBA is the equity, the agriculture fund.
Yeah,
DBA.
yeah, but that doesn't look as good, and I think it may be because of cattle. I'd go with the pure play on the grains,
Okay, there you
and I call it implement your Joseph strategy, which means store wheat while it's cheap, so that you have it when it's in a shortage. And he was the best commodity trader in the Bible,
go.
Joseph.
Right, really.
So here, I'm going to give you the screen and fill
Holy
us in.
smokes.
Is there any conviction with sweeps today anywhere, Mike?
I'm gonna look. I'm kind of processing the first, our this first discussion. It's more important. I'll let you know. I'll look, but
All right.
I was, that was very
Yeah.
interesting.
So I mean, look to buy a break in TLT, man. I think it gave the green flag last
There's
week.
our, there's our chart in wheat right there, right?
Yeah, that looks great.
All right, so you want to talk stocks that are what's happening? How would I report this earnings season? Okay, this is a
Yeah, and what you're doing, what you have conviction
okay.
about,
Here's
and if
Disney.
you don't have conviction, let us know. Wow, Disney.
Okay, so there's Disney.
Yeah,
There
that
is
was a
Planeteer, which was one of the most heavily owned stocks. Obviously, we know what that done.
wow.
That did the same thing. Disney
So
25.
these are bad
I actually
earnings
think I bought some
reports.
here.
Are
Yeah, they're
these
bid earnings.
bad earnings reports? They're hammering things. Okay, so that's why you give it a C minus or
Well,
a D.
everything they're selling. I mean, you can look at Dr. Pepper, Snapple, which had
Yeah,
nice earnings and
yeah.
is still hanging up in a bull flag. But does really that tell me anything? You could look at something like a CELH. The CELH, by the way, Celsius Holdings. This had a range this morning from 79 to 70 to 70. I believe this thing has a huge range today.
Wow.
Another one to watch. D-Dog, best of breed security stock, if you will. There it is. That went to the 200 day. That was pinned at 111, but that reported poor earnings. Let's see if that holds. A Crocs reported good earnings by the way, and I asked my stepson, who's 20 years old. do you like Crocs? And he laughed at me and I said, why? And he says, because they're Crocs. I said, thanks. It cost me about freaking 100,000. That's what Crocs did today. Could have taken it long. Thanks for your opinion, buddy boy. So,
Well, you know, you fade your relatives. It's like you have to. My
yeah, you
sister.
tell me if I faded my father, I'd be in the poorhouse. He was a jockey. Imagine I faded
Yeah.
my father every day. Oh,
I'm talking to my sister, and she's talking about her portfolio and this. She's retiring, and she says, "Well, you know, I'm in safe stuff, and I'm going to get out for a few months in October." So I said, "You know, Gloria, you're like a contrarian indicator for me. And if everyone is hoping to get out at good levels before the election because they think the election can bring a lot of uncertainty. So if everyone's thinking they have till October, I would think that the market's that's going to happen before October.
oh, it's only a matter of what day she's going to pick the top. That's a,
Well,
that's
I mean,
insane.
they're going to be late. They think they're going to be selling uh,
I have a,
that
as a professional for 30 years, I have a hard enough getting a leap right. And I got
yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. And
You know what I
anyway,
mean?
but they think that's, going to be their protection from risks is waiting till October. So it either happens way before October or they get out in October and the market keeps roaring. But they're not going to, get out and at the best level and then get back
Yeah, I
in
certainly wouldn't.
January.
I certainly wouldn't be planning a vacation a week before or after that they're
Yeah.
trying to get out.
Yeah.
You might as well buy insurance.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
what's
that so your son, my sister, we learn a lot from people we talk to.
yeah,
And
my
you know
mom's.
what I've learned the most? That I shouldn't talk to any other person because I know. And when I have doubts and I'm seeking out people that hold common views as I
You're in
do
the
to
wrong position anyway.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Looking
coach,
for
believe me, when I'm gonna put you want to talk, when I'm in some of these drawdowns and I look at the stocks, I know the guy's wife, the CEO's wife's name, his birthday, what
yeah,
college he went to. But if I'm up in a position, I sometimes I forget the symbol. You know what I mean? That's how it is.
that's pretty classic.
It is.
Yeah,
All right, Roblox, another one
uh,
that came out with earnings. This okay, here's Roblox taking calls into numbers. Now you want to argue there? Shopify chart taking calls into numbers. I'm not saying it's not going to pull a D dog or anything like that, but there is, let's look at the other one, CCJ, as I said before, just taking tremendous amount of calls. Maybe it pulls, maybe it does. It looks very similar to this type of move. I'm not going to lie.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Everybody. Oh, so let's look at another one. Starbucks. They're still hurting Starbucks. How about that one? No, I
Wow,
mean,
yeah.
and by the way, that is earnings, and
That's
that's
China. That's China, isn't it? They're not selling as much coffee in China, are they?
no, they're not. Gold. I'm just looking at here. GLD is red as it's coming across my tape. Silver red. Let's look at what some things that do. There's
Long,
a couple of
yeah,
stocks that have, hang. Listen, coach. You can ask me this. Sweeps.
yeah.
I'll just go to the video tape. Planeteer puts, Nevada bullish, Roblox. I just mentioned it. Bullish into earnings. It's my job. Crocs stepped it up, crushed earnings. We already put that. XLI movers. This is what's going on in the Dow. Freight movements. Freight.
Transports.
Caterpillar's up 2%. So you know what? We answered the sweeps. I don't see anything yet, Coach. I
Okay.
think that right here, when I find something that Jesus feed will paraphrase properly, because he usually does, nothing yet. That's it. I don't see anything major. And it's my job to
Okay.
tell you.
If it's not there, it's not there.
No, as you know
Yeah.
what? It said before that I posted, hold on a second, in TGH, and this was an important thing.
It kind of
US,
speaks to like we're in a little bit of a no man's zone right now that people want to make big bets.
well, I kind of call it the danger zone. And let me go to TradeGATEHub, and I posted how I felt this morning. And I'm here. And I said it right before the last post, right before I came on. Apple event coming up at 10 o'clock. It moved. All right. But no need to force with the softer tape. It's a Tuesday afternoon. There's a lot going on. People are still unwinding from the weekend. Stocks are making moves. You know, some got to settle. This is not throw it. I mean, this is for me with the VIX down like this. It means less positions, higher size. If it's
Yeah.
working, there's not a lot of, with the VIX so low, I don't see a lot of reversals. Sure, maybe Disney bounces a couple of dollars. Starbucks might bounce a dollar or two, but with the VIX this low, for me, heavier size, what's working, adding to winners, cutting the weeds, and I don't want these losers to bleed. That's what it says to me.
All right, Mike. Why don't we wrap it with your highest conviction trade, something you're looking to do, um, that you're stalking and just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, and why?
It's fair because I'm usually getting a look at things. No, that's fair.
Okay.
I'll tell you, what am I in?
Yeah, your highest conviction position that you would be willing to add on to, that's valid too, if you had a chance. And I know you usually only add on as if you're long as things are going up.
No,
You don't
well,
you scale into?
do I scale? Yeah, of course I scale in. You know
Okay.
what I like? I'm not gonna lie, and it's gonna sound. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I'll show you what my. You know what? Shit. Here are my positions. This is what I have right here.
Okay. How many rooms do this?
That's what.
Okay.
You see the
So
screen?
yeah, so
What's
Mike
happening
doesn't
behind me?
he doesn't have to say anything about it.
What's going on here?
Um,
All right, my highest position.
yeah,
I like Donut. Obviously, I have 30,000 shares in it. I'm up in it. Let's look at the chart. There are better charts, of course. It's coming down from here, but it came down on a lot of
no
low
volume.
volume. Listen, there are better charts.
Yeah,
It held the gap properly. It's going with McDonald's. They did a big chart. Oh, why is this doing this? Oh, hold on.
yeah, it's out of scale. There.
Okay, I
Yeah,
like Donut.
yeah,
Better charts. What else do I have here? RVNC, I'm down a little bit. Peton, I'm in. Gap Stores, I'm shorted. I'm up in. Wayfair. Hood, I like Hood. GME, I'm in. I don't have anything. There's nothing here there's nothing here that heavy.
okay.
You know what I mean? The heaviest
Yeah,
position dollar wise I have is 300,000. And as you
okay.
know, I have what, a 7, 8 figure line. So,
Yeah, yeah. So this is kind of an indication to me, because I know how active you can be, that it's a good time to be patient.
I took a loss. I was short some Wayfair. I took a bit of losses. I was long P2 overnight. I took 11 Gap Stores. I was short Gap Stores overnight. Right here. I thought it looked, hold on, if you can see, let me show you.
Yeah,
And this is, I was wrong, but also let me show you. I cut it. All right. So
yeah,
Gap Stores, the high that, oh, hold on. And this is a good lesson if you need. Gap Stores, the high of the day is what? And I had 10,000 shares coming in short. High of the day is 23.13. I shorted a couple of thousand more, 23.05. All right, I'm wrong. I covered the majority of it, 22.52. My average price is at the
yeah,
green, as you can see, 22.34. So
right.
I was short 10,000 shares. That's right here. The most I was born was 10 down 10,000. And
Yeah,
right now I'm short 5,000. My average price is 22.34. So I already realized 2,000 in profits. I'm only down what? I'm down like $1,000. My
yeah.
bid is right here.
Nice average.
5,000, 22.49. You move on.
Yeah, nice average.
It is what it is. I 10
Yeah,
out shares. I'm wrong. So I turned a 10, 12, $11,000 loser into $3,000 loser. Next, Wayfair, same thing. Let's do this. Okay. Wayfair, the high of the day. Now, to me, it matters. High of the day was 68.64.
yeah,
My cover was 66.70. That's
nice.
$2.
Yeah,
4,000 shares makes a difference. Now it's back up. I have a little bit short. So I changed the mosquito, I changed what could have been a little bit of a wound into mosquito bite. So I held some losers and that's it. What am I? I'm up 17,000 for the day. There's no barn burner. And that's it. I'm in Hood, 4,000. That's it. Donut was a lot higher and I tried to sell it. I probably should have, But right now I don't see a lot. I should be in this FSLR. I'm in it, this is my short-term trading account. I'm in stocks like this in a long-term fund.
Okay.
Fizzler. That's in
Yeah.
long-term as well. It should.
Yeah.
What else is in there? CCJ, obviously.
Yeah.
ALB is in there. I bought the best of breed battery maker on the bottom.
Yeah. I
Of course, I
saw
can
that
go.
that had a pretty good day last week.
Yeah,
I
so
think it
I'm in
Friday.
there. I'm not
Yeah.
in a lot. So
Yeah.
Newmont I'm in. Newmont I think is acting the best. Newmont, you know what? I'm going to tell you. I
It could. There could be another. It could. It could move above 44.
I like it. I'm not going to
We'll
lie.
see. It could also pull back to 36. So we'll
Uh,
see.
that's
38.
it, coach. I'm not in
Yeah.
any macros. Riven bounced a little bit. I wasn't in it. There's no macros I'm really sinking my teeth into. Actually, there's no macros I'm in at all. Google. The only one I'm in the fund that's macro.
Yeah, that looks good still.
Okay.
Like
Obviously I'm eyeing the Nvidia. I didn't do it in the fund. I bought it a little, that's it. Square. What are you gonna do? This isn't a channel. I'd rather trade it. So,
All right,
and this
buddy.
is it. Yeah. I don't know what
Thanks
else to
for
say.
your, really showing us, giving us a glimpse into your day. You came in underwater on a few things and you danced out of them. So nice trading, and that's really how you could tell someone's a good trader is what they do when with their losers. And now I know what you do. So thanks for showing your book.
It's all good, coach. All right.
All right,
Cheers.
buddy.
You know what I mean? It's
See you in the room. Look for breaks to buy TLT. Interest rates are going to fall for a few months. So whatever groups are going to like that,
look at what just came
you'll
across
have
the
that.
tape, coach.
What?
Right here. Fed's Kashari. We would hike rates if needed. The most likely scenario is we stay put for an extent, of course, but there he goes right there.
Yeah. So there's if TLT is pulling back on that, great, because you know what? The Fed doesn't set rates, the market does.
That's right.
So I'll go with what happened last week in the market. That TLT's back inside of the wedge. That we failed from 78.6 back on the 10-year and sold off pretty hard. So you know, I don't know. Anytime I hear a Fed speaker, I put on Johnny Lang's tune called "Lie to Me."
No, I
Great,
don't. I don't. I don't. I might
great
be
blues
wrong.
tune. Great
I
blues
don't. I
tune.
don't listen. I don't listen.
Yeah,
Got me this
that's
far.
yeah, yeah. So Marty Zweig, maybe in those days the Fed was a little bit more straightforward. So I don't know.
Forget about Marty's Weig, and please leave it at this because it's. Why don't you give everybody an update of what's going on tomorrow?
Oh yeah, the Super Bowl and Dave's, some of his things. Like last time he was on, I think Nvidia was trading about 500, and he said that it's going to double. It's going to go to 1,000, and that was before a lot of people did. He's been right metals, although it took a long time for him to be right metals. He has some,
Usually the metal. Come on, it's a
yeah,
metal. I get it. It's a
yeah,
cycle. It's a super cycle.
yeah, and he's getting, thinks the dollar's
Pardon me.
close to rolling over. You know what I want to know from Dave tomorrow is, let's just say his upside targets are met. Besides being a bull, he's looking for one of the biggest busts since 29.
Mhm.
So I want to know what he thinks is going to prick the bubble if yields are heading down.
And has he
So
started any? How about this? And has he started any position, any even 1%
yeah,
to back up that it might be that way? And what
yeah,
would he is he doing it on the way up or would he do it on the way down?
yeah.
Because
I'm
he is the
I'm thinking,
contrarian. He's the contrarian.
yeah, he has
When is he
higher.
putting on that? When is he going to put on? I don't, it's not even going to call it a hedge because he'll be
Yeah.
out. But when is he going to put that trade to work?
Well, I mean, from last time he was talking 7,100
Okay,
SPX, so we're
that's
quite
fair.
a ways from there. While Henrik was talking about 6,100, which used to be Dave's target. Anyway, I'm going to talk to Dave tomorrow and try and get a panel a little discussion, a little head to head between David and Henrik. I think that'd be good TV.
It'd be great TV.
Yeah. So have a great day, bro.
You too, Coach. Thanks for everything, really.
All right.
You,
Good
you,
hunting. I'll see you tomorrow for Dave. You know, Dave H. Contrarian.
Dave H. You got to see it,
Gotta
even
see
no
the
matter what.
H.
It's a high
Yeah.
level opinion, gives you a frame of reference to go upon. Thanks for
Okay.
tuning in, Coach. I can't wait to watch it. Really.
All right.
Cheers. Have a plan.
See you in the room, bro.
Have a good day, Coach.
Adios. You too, man.